Hey everybody, Jim Masters here. It is time for the Jim Masters Show live entertainment lifestyle celebrity talk show series. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're having a good day. If you're not, hey, stick around. We're going to put some smiles on your face. We always do that all the time here at JMS. Busy day for me on the radio all day. And then we had a TV shoot and we're getting ready. We're going to Florida soon. Family time. Going to be going. Can't wait. It's already warm and sunny down there. And you know me, if you watch all the time, I'm an ocean guy. So yes, I love the ocean. I have a love affair with the ocean. Grew up near the ocean and, on the East Coast here, Northeast. So we're going to be in that ocean when we get down to Florida. Sister's birthday coming up, Mother's Day coming up. So we're all gathering as a family, friends soon. I can't wait. Busy time around here. Again, literally on the air all day. And then just popped in this chair to host this show, produce this show for all of you. We call it the Jim Masters Show. The reason why we call it that is my name is Jim Masters. It's like, what should we call it? Let me see. Let's call it the Jim Masters Show. I work in television and radio professionally, so people know me, from that. And why would I change it? Just keep it as it is. It saves money too when you just use the actual name, right? It's for graphics and all that other stuff. Hope you're doing well. We have a great guest joining us from Nashville, Tennessee. She's a renowned Grammy-nominated vocalist, performer, singer, songwriter, vocal coach, and so much more. And I'm just going to drop a few names here. Folks that she's shared the stage with, toured with, worked with, collaborated with, all of the above. She has worked with Beyonce, yes, and Sting, and Bruno Mars, and Bette Midler, and Celine Dion, and U2, just to name a few of the incredible well-known musical acts that she's worked with. And she's a prolific singer. She loves what she does. We have a lot of mutual friends. We were just chatting about some of our incredible friends, Renee Martin, Madeline Stone, and many, many others. It's a small world. I was just telling her, Tommy James from Tommy James and the Shondells, great friend. He was just on the show this weekend. If you missed that episode, check it out. It was epic. He was very open and real and authentic. We absolutely loved it. Matter of fact, you can binge watch well over 920 episodes of our series right here on our YouTube channel. And if you would like to comment while the show is on right now, you can. You can actually interact with each other and with us. How do you do that? Well, if you subscribe to the YouTube channel, the channel you're watching right now, Jim Masters TV, you can actually comment in our JMS Lovity Hall, as we call it, Lovity Hall chat room. So what happens is when the shows are on and when they're airing, there's a chat section on the YouTube channel. Maybe you see it scrolling down with people's comments on the right-hand side of the screen. You then can participate in that. You can say hi. You can say hi to us, to each other. We have regulars, JMS Lovity fans that do that all the time. Maybe you recognize some of the familiar names that are always there, who we love, and then some new names pop in as well. So if you want to comment and connect while the show is on, you can do that. Also, you can comment at any time in the comment section underneath the episode. Don't forget to give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. We would absolutely love that. So wherever you're watching around the world, I really hope you're having a good day and things are going okay for you. But again, if ever your days aren't going well, stop by JMS. We always do what we can to connect, to inspire, to entertain, educate. We always have a lot of fun. And with being live, anything can happen and usually does. Let's welcome Tabitha to the show. First, I'll tell you a little bit about her. Again, she's extraordinary. She's been doing this for a long time. She absolutely loves it. She's performed and toured with some of the music industry's finest artists, sharing the stage, as I mentioned, with Sting and Beyonce, Bruno Mars, Lady Gaga, U2, Celine Dion, Faith Hill, Wynonna Judd, Ann Womack, Rascal Flatts, Rita Wilson, Amy Grant, Third Day, Sam Moore, James Taylor, Fall Out Boy, Bette Midler, Lenny Kravitz, Bruce Springsteen, John Legend, The Roots, Jennifer Hudson, Michael McDonald. I mean, These are all the favorites, right? Elton John, Mary J. Blige, Snoop Dogg, and many more. And shortly after touring with Amy Grant at the beginning of her career, Tabitha co-founded Avalon, which is the highest-selling contemporary Christian group of all time. As a vocal coach as well, as a matter of fact, she's going to be coming to us from the actual vocal studio where she teaches as well. Tabitha specializes in performance training, vocal artistry, and artist development. Her wide-ranging experience in the music industry is unrivaled as a performer, vocalist, writer, and Tabitha enjoys passing her years of wisdom on to her clients. She has won a plethora of awards, and the accomplishments are great, everybody, truly. And we're going to tell you just some of them here. There are many and well earned. How about things like recipient of the Songwriters Hall of Fame, Abe Ullman Award in 2001? She performed at the second inaugurations of President Bill Clinton in 1997 and President Barack Obama in 2012. All phenomenal honors. She performed at the Hope for Haiti Now benefit concert in 2010, performed at the Kennedy Center Honors for the past 12 years, performed on the 4th of July PBS concert. I remember that well. You know, my affiliation with PBS and public television goes back many years and still continues today. She performed with Lady Gaga at the Grammy Awards in 2018. You may remember that. Background vocalist for Sting and the Trudy Stylers Rainforest Benefit for the last 15 years. Performed on the 4th of July celebration on CBS many times. Nominated for a Grammy with Desmond Child, the live album 2021. Worship team vocal producer at Cornerstone Church, Nashville as well. Co-writer and singer with Carole King for the song If We Get Through This for the film Sum of All Fears. And she performed also for Sonic Adventure 2. That's the short list, folks. That is just the short list. Pretty cool. I thought I was busy. She's amazing, and she loves what she does, as I mentioned, and she truly is. She is a force of nature. She's a powerhouse, but she loves what she's doing as she provides all the great entertainment for all of us and teaches others, pays it forward. Gang, it's so good to have you here. Got a busy show in store for you here. Let's welcome, coming to us from the vocal studio. Maybe even learn something.
Maybe we'll do some scales.
We'll do, right? We'll do a tip or two, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
La, 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 la.
Oh, yes, that's
right?
one of them.
That's right. That's one of them. How are you? And welcome. I know you're so busy and it's crazy times. So thanks for taking time out of your busy schedule to stop by Levity Hall and the Jim Master Show. It's an honor and a pleasure.
It's an honor and pleasure for me too. Thank you so much for having me. This is amazing. Pleasure. Thank you.
Oh yeah, a lot of pleasure exchange here, and that's what we do here at JMS. You know, it's good vibes, positive. And how are things in Nashville? Busy, crazy?
Yeah, things are really busy this week. Kind of a crazy week. And it's beautiful weather here. My favorite time of year. We were just talking about this. You know, it's springtime. I'm ready.
Now you're in Nashville, but you said you had lived about 16 years in New York City, right? In New York.
Yeah, I was there from probably about 98, 99 until 2015. Yeah. And I moved back to Nashville around that time to come back here to tour with Rascal Flatts.
That's right.
So after that, I was like, I think I'm just going to stay. It's just so nice here.
Right. And, you know, Nashville is really growing. I tell you, Nashville and Vegas right now are both just like, matter of fact, I don't know if you heard the baseball team, the Oakland Athletics, the Oakland A's, they're leaving Oakland, California, and they're moving to Vegas.
Really?
They wanted a new stadium in Oakland, and it was turned down. So they said, guess what? we're going to Vegas. So now Vegas will have not only the
Wow.
Oakland Raiders, which is now the Vegas team, but they're going to have a baseball team as well. Vegas
I
and
love
Nashville
it.
seem to be hot spots, huh?
Neck and neck.
They really, really are. They really are. New York and LA, of course, still always there, but now you've got Nashville and Vegas that have,
Yeah.
especially Nashville has really been, up and coming. And not just,
Yeah.
a lot of people, they always think Nashville, country music, of course, and it is a great place for country, but there's so many other forms of music. I know people who are on Broadway and things of that nature who now actually live in Nashville as they're
Mhm.
growing their careers. The music scene in Nashville is really hot, huh?
Oh, it's booming, but it always has here. I mean, Nashville is known for its songwriting community, and then of course country music, and then also Christian music, gospel music.
Yes.
It's very well known for that. But now I mean it's everything, and people are coming here from all over the world to just to experience the live music down on Broadway, and
Yeah.
I mean it's pretty insane. It really is. It's almost like Vegas down there.
It is, right?
Or New Orleans sometimes.
Yes, exactly. On so many different levels. Hey, our friend Madeline Stone is here. She's watching. She says
Oh, hi, Maddie.
hello. Hey, Madeline. So good to see you here as well. She's saying hi. And of course, Renee Martin, we say hello to Renee as well. And
Hey,
all,
Renee.
all the lovelies that are watching here. This is absolutely awesome.
Hi,
Uh,
Lovities.
you're very big. I know. Isn't that a cool word?
I love that.
Before I
Love
start the
it.
show, everybody, we do a little pre-chat about 15 minutes before the show goes live, and we test audio and everything else, and get the show ready about 15 minutes before the live, on air button shows up. And I was telling Tabitha about the Lovity and how that all came about here on the show. Pretty cool, huh? It just bloop, and then there it is. Sometimes that's what happens.
Yeah. That's live,
It's right.
Cool things can happen from that.
Cool things can happen. Exactly right. So, for you, this has been your life's work, and it continues
Yeah.
to be on so many different levels. How did you first get started? What were some of those inspirations that really pointed you in the direction of going into music, going into entertainment, going into the arts in such what's become a really grand way, Tabitha?
Well, thank you. Yeah, I grew up singing in church, and that was kind of my entrance way into music. And my mother was the choir director. She was the piano player, the organ player. She did everything musical in the church. And so I would say my mom is probably one of my first inspirations as far as musically is concerned. Well, she was in a lot of different ways, but she was a pretty powerful singer and musician. And so that was really, like I said, she was my inspiration from the beginning. And then of course, a lot of the gospel Christian artists at that point really inspired me as well. And as a young kid, I was really only allowed to listen to Christian music. It wasn't until I was probably 11 years old that I was allowed to listen to anything other than that.
Mm-hmm.
So my earliest inspirations were, was gospel and Christian music. And I used to listen to those records just over and over and over,
Who were the artists that you were listening to? You
Andre
recall?
Crouch and the
Oh,
Disciples,
yeah, sure.
Reba Rambo, Dottie Rambo. Dottie was you could kind of compare Dottie to Dolly Parton. I mean, she was like that kind of songwriter in the Christian realm. And so a lot of
Vestal Goodman?
Yes,
Remember
Vestal
Vestal?
Good.
Yes.
Yeah. Jubilee.
She was always on the PTL club with her
Yeah.
husband. Yeah.
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 Yeah. I would say that my mom kind of had that kind of Vestal Goodman kind of powerful powerhouse voice. Yeah. Southern gospel. So I
Yeah.
grew up singing Southern gospel, Black gospel, Christian contemporary, and that those were the only things that I was allowed to listen to. So that's what I listened to all the
What?
time.
All the time. And
Yeah.
when did you start to then branch out and start to hear some of the other material that was out there on the other radio stations and, the
Well,
performances happening elsewhere?
when I was around 11 years old, started
11.
listening to Top 40 radio, and loved all that stuff. Donnie and Marie show. Yeah.
ABC Friday nights at 8.
Yeah, the Jacksons. I mean, Michael Jackson, just all that stuff I loved it. So at that age was when I really started listening to secular music,
Yeah.
and I loved it. And I would say growing up in that time period, like the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, to me, some of the best music was kind of made in those decades. And some of those bands, I mean, they resonate today, still resonate. And,
Yeah.
those bands will never go away. They're like, Queen and,
KC and the Sunshine Band.
Journey. Those bands will be around forever and ever.
Journey. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, so much of that music. And when you hear it, even, the rhythmic stuff, some of the disco stuff, just the sounds, the beats, the instrumentation, you just feel good. You know what I mean? You feel
Yeah.
good. You feel light. Barry White comes on with his deep voice. You just,
Oh, yeah.
Lou Rawls, some of
Mm.
these great voices. You just feel really, really good when you hear that music.
Oh, yeah.
The very, other than high school and college for me, the very first radio station in New York, out east on Long Island for me, actually was a Christian radio station,
Okay.
WLIX radio. And I was on the air for them and in the evenings. And that's when I really learned about a lot of those Michael W. Smith
Mhm.
and BB and CC Winans and Amy Grant, because I
Mhm.
saw all these names, Ralph Carmichael. I saw all
Yeah.
these names on the carts, which was the music that we would push into the cart machine and play. And you'd hear all this great music. And I would say, and I have a huge collection of music of all kinds. And I have a huge collection of, we've always had Christmas music on in our house at Christmas time. It's
Mhm.
always been a part of the scene with my parents and the relatives and all. The Christian artists, even the instrumental, coming out of the Christian world is some of the most beautiful stuff. Really
yeah.
terrific music,
Beautiful.
really fantastic stuff, and got a big collection of a lot of that as well. So you started listening to that music, and then tell us about how you made, your entree into beyond Christian and bringing in some secular into what your world was about.
I would say that kind of started happening after I graduated college, really, because I was really into the Christian music
Yeah.
From about the age of 11 until I got to college. I started making records at the age of 11. And then I had my own television show at 15 in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And then I also made my first full-on album at 15. And I toured that album for several years while I was in high school.
Mhm.
And in fact, I think I even got a little burnt out on it because I was constantly just singing and traveling and doing music. And when I got to college, I was like, well, I'm going to take a little break and just enjoy school,
Yeah.
But even though I was still in the music program there. But after college was really when I got into other kinds of music. I mean, in college, I was a music theater major. So I studied and so I was vocal performance and I was music theater. So I got a little taste of classical, opera, had to sing in all the different languages. And then I also learned a lot of the Broadway stuff, the music theater stuff. And I do believe that kind of music made me a better singer, because it taught me how to use my breath support. It taught me how to place certain tones. and it taught me, agility with my voice. And
Yes.
so, and also it taught me, like I said, I grew up singing gospel, but it taught me how to sing all kinds of different music. It wasn't just one thing. So I think that because of that, that made me a better singer, and it made me a little bit more valuable in the music industry, especially as a background vocalist or as a demo singer or as a songwriter. I mean, it just, when you can, when you can sing a lot of different styles, it just helps you on so many levels, because it helps you understand communication and how to connect, to a song, no matter what style it is,
Exactly. Right. Do you have, for you, are there genres that are your go-to, that are your personal favorites?
Yeah, I love R&B. I
Yeah.
love
Yeah, I do
that.
too. Yeah.
I love that, and I love pop. And of course, I love gospel. So I would say I'm probably a little bit of all those things, with a little bit of maybe a little twang in there, because I'm from Oklahoma, and then lived in Nashville a lot of years, and then of course up in New York. That gave me a little bit of a different kind of training. And I think that made me a better singer. It made me a better connector, communicator. In New York City, I mean, I also did a lot of jingle work,
We talk a lot about that with some of the
Mhm.
guests who've come through, who've done that,
Yeah.
sessions, singers, and so much
Yes.
more. Did you enjoy that? I miss jingles. I used to
Oh, I
love
love.
jingles for
Yeah.
commercials and
I miss that
TV and
mailbox money.
the mailbox money, right? Exactly.
Really miss that.
The jingles that you'd hear on the radio stations and the TV networks and all the commercials and
Mhm.
just everything. Margarine even had jingles with it.
Oh, yeah.
Soda had jingles. Do you remember some of the jingles that you
Mhm.
sang?
Okay, here's one. Lace, get your smile on. That was one.
Oh, yeah.
And then I did a Valtrex commercial.
Did you really?
It's a brand new day.
Yes. Yep.
Then I did a Hanes commercial. Do 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 do. Look who we got our Hanes on now.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Yeah, I did. It's all inside. JCPenney.
Jace. Oh, that was you.
Yeah,
Yes. Yeah,
yeah.
JC Penney, right.
Yeah, and there were some others too. I had a good run. Before the jingle singer was no more.
When did that, from your perspective, being involved in it, when did you see that really start to change? Was that the 90s, or
I would
when they
say the
started pulling away
latter.
from that?
I would say the latter part of the 90s, because I moved to, no, actually I would say, because I moved to New York around 98, 99. So I was singing jingles pretty much up to about maybe 2007, around there, and then after that, I would say that's kind of when the jingle thing kind of started, losing
The jingle thing lost its jangle.
it. It's jangle. At least it did for me.
You know who was also big, and they did a lot. It's amazing. The Ron Hicklin singers.
Hmm.
They were tremendous. They did a lot of, stuff for commercials. Yeah. But they also did a lot of TV show themes. They were the background singers for the Monkees, the
Okay.
background singers for the Partridge Family.
Well, they
They,
had background singers.
yeah, they were
Wow.
the real ones, aside from Shirley and David, Cassidy and Jones.
Yeah.
And the TV show themes, Love American Style.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
that was them pounding all that out. And it was just real good stuff when you hear it now, when you
Oh,
hear all that.
yeah.
I'd like to teach the world to sing, buy a Coke for everybody, all that kind of stuff. That was fun stuff, wasn't it? A lot of work, right? It was a lot of work,
Oh,
because a couple of
yeah.
people I talked to told me that it had to be really exacting in sound. The blend, the harmony
Oh, yeah.
really had to be
I
pristine.
I would say that kind of singing, yes. But if I had to go in and sing a spot, usually, I mean, time is money. So usually I would be done maybe in an hour. You would go in or less. You'd go in and sing a jingle, and maybe in the morning I'd go sing this jingle, then the afternoon go sing another one. And that was pretty fast money. At the
Yes.
time.
What was it like when you would sing it and then you'd hear it on the air?
I
Kinda
loved
cool, huh?
it because
Yeah,
I was
huh?
like, mailbox money. Ching ching.
But
No,
cool to hear it,
it was
right?
so cool. It was so cool
Yeah,
to see it on television. And
yeah.
I remember seeing the Hanes commercial. Marissa Tomei was in the commercial, and hearing my voice and seeing her face. It was kind of cool, you know.
That's right,
hmm
exactly. Yeah, and, sometimes those would run for years.
Yeah.
Those would run for years. There are people whose their careers have been the voice of, or, a lot of my background too with the television radio thing is those on-air announcers, those voices
Mhm.
of God, those television announcers, radio announcers who would make, a career just out of saying, "This is CBS."
Oh,
That
yeah.
could be a whole a whole
Lucky
career.
guys.
Yeah, everybody, yeah, yeah, to break in and to do that kind of work. So you're going along and things are happening, and what would
Mhm.
you consider for you? And there's probably several, but what would you consider, Tabitha, um, a crucial moment that really took your career from here to all of a sudden this direction?
Mhm.
Well, there are a couple of things that happened that either you created or that happened for you that started to really get the ball rolling, and people started really appreciating who you were and the work you do and how good you are.
Well, hi, Lionel.
Yeah, we got
um,
everybody's here.
yeah.
Yeah,
Hi.
everybody's
Oh, this
saying
is
hello.
awesome.
Yeah,
Um,
lovelies.
I would say one of the biggest things, a producer, Keith Thomas, who still lives here in Nashville and still does incredible work. And I have the utmost respect for him. He's just an incredible human being and an amazing producer. He saw me on a commercial back early 90s. It was a commercial for Channel 4. It was called For the Family with Love. And I was on camera and I was singing the spot.
And
And it was a
like
really
for
sweet
like
song.
Channel 4
Yeah.
for the family. I used
Yes.
to love when the TV stations would play with the
Me,
call
me
letters
too.
and the number for the
Mhm.
family. Yeah.
For the Family with Love.
Oh,
And
that's cool.
it was a beautiful song. And so I was singing it and I was on camera. And so he saw me on that commercial. And then he saw me in a video, this Christian artist named Vince Ebo. I was dancing in that video, and I was a background singer in the video, and he saw me in that, and I just got a phone call from him out of the blue. And
Wow.
he said, "Hey, Tabitha, this is Keith Thomas." And I was like, "What?"
Yeah, wait,
'Cause
huh?
I knew his work because he had worked with BB and CC Winans, Amy Grant. I mean, the list goes on and on. And I was such a huge fan of his. And he called me and he said, "Hey," he said, I really," he said, "I saw you on the commercial. Sound great. And I saw you in this video." And he said, "I'd love to meet with you and hear what you have going on."
Yeah.
And so I did. And then we started working together. I started doing a lot of session work for him, singing backup on all his cool albums that he was producing, Amy Grant being one of them. And so at the session, he says, "Hey," on a session I was doing for him, he said, "Hey," he said, "Amy's about to go out on tour." And he said, "I'd love to recommend you for the tour." And so I said, "Yeah, that would be
Sign
amazing."
me up.
'Cause
Yeah.
I had never, I never toured at that point. I was in my 20s, and so he said, "Yeah," he said, "I'm going to talk to Amy." And then a few days later, I get a call from Amy Grant herself. And I think I even remember where I was. I was kind of over by Berry Hill. I was at the Kroger, or I was, and my phone rings and I answer it and I said, "Hello." And she says, "Hi, Tabitha, this is Amy Grant." I was like,
And
"What?"
you're in the produce aisle holding a head of lettuce.
And I was just like, wow, this is incredible. And she said, well, I spoke with Keith Thomas and he recommended you for the tour. And she said, I'd love to invite you on the tour to sing with me. And then she also said, hey, and if there's someone that you love singing with, you could recommend them too, which I did. So one of my best friends that I sang with all the time, I recommended her, and then she got the gig too. And so me and my best friend were out on tour singing with Amy Grant. And so that's really how all that happened, was because of Keith Thomas. And then from there,
And doing that Channel 4 promo, right?
Yeah, the Channel 4 promo.
Do you remember any of that?
Do I remember it? Lifetime. It's been so long. I wish I did. It was a beautiful melody, and it was a
Channel
sweet song.
4, we love you. We're number one.
Yeah, I just have it's all inside in my head right now.
On Channel 4, right? Exactly. That's cool stuff. Yeah, I always love all those types of jingles and stuff like that.
Me too. But that's kind of how all that happened. Was
heard the voice, saw you, and then said, she's good. Yeah, let's find out more about her, right? Huh?
Yeah. And then, from that tour, I mean, just so many doors opened up for me. I got to sing on a lot of wonderful country projects too. LeAnn Rimes.
Oh yeah.
I did, not LeAnn Rimes, LeAnn Womack. I did. I did that. And here I'm blanking on the name of the song.
There's so many.
I know. The dance. What's the dance song?
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Anybody out there know the name of that?
Yes. Do you want to phone a friend?
Yeah. Madeline, you know the name of that?
Yeah. Oh, Madeline knows the name of everything.
Yeah. And Keith Urban sang on one of his projects, and then, I mean, all the country people, I started singing on a lot of their stuff, Faith Hill, Wynonna Judd, and then the Avalon thing opened up, and just a lot of really cool opportunities came from that.
You co-founded Avalon, the highest selling contemporary Christian group of all time.
Yeah.
Very familiar with it. How did that all happen?
Well, they were signed to Sparrow EMI at the time. Yeah. And I was asked to come on board, at the very beginning of that group. And I was asked to do the Young Messiah tour with them, which I did. And all that went so well. And so I was in the group. And so after that, I did the first album. And I had a song actually on the album that I had co-written, and which was really great. And soon after that, I guess I always felt like I really wanted to be in pop music. Hindsight, I do wish I would have stayed in the group, because it was a
great sound,
so well, and and we had a phenomenal sound, and just great people in the group.
A lot of airplay too. Stations were really opened up. I remember seeing the name. Yeah.
It was a huge thing. And people say, have any regrets, throughout my life. And I would say that would probably be one of them, that I didn't stick in that group, because they were just so amazing. And I'm still friends with all of them.
That was a hard decision. How did you decide? I'm sure it wasn't a snap decision. I'm sure you wrestled with it.
I did.
And other opportunities started coming your way, and you're like weighing the options.
That's it.
How were you able to make the decision? And did you sit down with them and say, hey, this is what's going to happen? And they probably were happy for you, sad and happy. This bittersweet, right?
It was bittersweet. I sat down and I had a meeting with the president of Sparrow at the time, and he was very sweet, kind, and he understood. But it was in that moment, it was such a hard thing to go through. But I had to go with my heart and my gut at the time, which I did.
which she
you know.
did, and
Mhm.
it's led to so many other incredible things. I
Mhm.
mean, you shared the stage with Sting.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, tell us about
Yeah.
that. Very cool.
Well, it
Mm.
was
Yeah.
beyond amazing, and it always has been, and it always will be. Such
You
a
still seem like you're floating a little from it.
yeah, I mean, he's one of the most he's one of definitely one of my idols. I mean, musical idols because he's a phenomenal
Super
writer,
talent, yeah.
singer, musician, and he's a very kind man. He's a gentleman, you know. He's just classy.
Right.
I
Exactly.
really
Yeah.
I really just admire him so much and think the world of him. So, but when you're on stage when you're on stage, it's just incredible.
How'd that
The
opportunity come
musicianship, the
your way?
quality.
Yeah, the quality is fantastic. How
Mhm.
did you have that opportunity come your way to work with Sting?
Well, I had, you know how it is. The music industry is just word of mouth, basically. And
This
I
time you
had,
did a promo for Channel 2?
yeah, no, not this time. I It's word of mouth, and you you have your circle of friends. I had my circle of friends in New
That's
York,
what it
especially
is,
my
right?
musical circle of friends, singers and musicians, and a couple of the singers that were a part of the Rainforest Benefit had recommended me because one of them couldn't do it. And from that moment on, I was in it. I just became part of the rainforest every couple of years after that, because they did the rainforest every 2 years. And so that was it. I was recommended through my circle of musical friends, and it was it was beyond my wildest dreams, becoming a part of that whole rainforest thing. and
Yeah.
and I mean, I got to sing with so many iconic artists. That's when I got to sing with Elton John and
I
James
I
Taylor and
yeah.
Nina Simone. I
Nina
mean,
Simone, I mean,
Nina Simone, yeah.
do you remember, like, say, Elton John, do you remember the time period and what were you were singing and what was the project? And
It was the rainforest, and
yeah,
they would have a theme for
right.
every one of them. And this year, I'm trying to remember what the theme was. It might have been like 80s, like the 80s decade, the music
Right.
from that time period. And um, yeah, I wish I could remember, the
So
song that
much.
I did with
Yeah,
Elton.
yeah.
I'd gotten to sing with him a couple of times, and
So
the
cool.
last rainforest that we did was right before COVID happened, and
Mm,
we did that at the Beacon, and Annie Lennox, the Eurythmics came back together to do that show, and we got to sing with them.
wow.
Yeah, that was like, woo.
Hey, your cousin Hunter's watching, and welcome to the Jim Masters show, Hunter. This is
Hi,
my
Hunter.
cousin. She is so
Hi.
awesome and
Hi,
a phenomenal
cuz.
singer. Cool to have him here. This is great. So, these opportunities that come your way. I mean, you
Mhm,
mentioned Amy Grant and Elton
yeah,
John and Sting. I mean, these are top names as
mhm,
well. And
mhm.
and it's you're also fine tuning your own skills and you're seeing
Yes.
what they're doing and picking things up, tips and
Mhm.
stuff. Lady Gaga,
Oh, yeah.
another.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I think the first time I sang with her was on the Rainforest Benefit, and then I sang with her at the Kennedy Center Honors, and then I sang with her at Sting's 60th birthday concert at the Beacon. I was in his band, and I got to sing with everybody, which was incredible. Um,
Yeah.
but and then I was asked to do the Grammys with her. So
It's 2018, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. How cool is
Michael
that?
Bearden, I don't know if you know of him, but he's one of the most fabulous musical directors out there, and he was Michael Jackson's musical director during right before Michael passed away.
Yeah.
But he was the guy in charge of that whole tour musically,
Yes.
and so he was Lady Gaga's musical director. And of course, I've known Michael for years because we did the Kennedy Center honors together a
Yeah.
lot.
And
And
how
so I've
great that
done,
is. Yeah.
yeah, so I've done numerous shows with Michael, but Michael's the one who called me to do the gig with Lady Gaga at the Grammys. So,
Ever work with or come across Greg Field, the prolific producer and drummer as well?
I
Married to
have
Monica
not.
Mancini, Henry
Okay.
Mancini's daughter. He's
Oh.
worked on a lot of those Kennedy Center honors as well and awards
Mhm.
shows and things of that nature.
Mhm.
That's when you're a part of that, that's just
Oh,
historic,
yeah.
legendary. The 4th
Mhm.
of July concerts on PBS. I mean, that's
Uh,
you've had some really extraordinary experiences and opportunities
yes.
come your way.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like the journey I've had has been really exciting, so I can't look at my life and my career and have regrets because what good is that going to do me, because I feel like I've just had some of the most just wonderful experiences, getting to sing with my heroes and getting to actually get to know some of them too.
Celine Dion,
Now, I didn't get to know her, but I did sing on her record. And
not bad.
I love her. She's
Yes.
just
What you recall
she's
the
one
which
of
record?
our.
Because
Huh?
everybody do you recall which record?
I
'Cause
don't. I don't
yeah,
recall that,
yeah.
which is bad. Bad, but
Oh, but
yeah.
what you did, I mean, and
Yeah,
that's
but I did that. Yeah, I did
that's so
that. Yeah, it's
cool,
kind of funny because sometimes you get called in to do things
and it just
yeah, and sometimes you don't even know what you're getting called in to
doing it
do until
for,
you get there.
and then it ends up right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Mhm.
Bruno Mars too, another great
Oh,
talent.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Remember when he, performed at the Super Bowl? He
yes.
really knocked that out of the park. That was fantastic.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love him. He's amazing.
Yeah.
So good.
Cool to do things with him as well, huh?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm a
Beyonce?
huge fan, and Beyonce too. Um, that was neat to get to work with her. I mean, this was after she really became a solo artist, and um, she's so beautiful in person. I mean,
Yeah,
just statuesque and just gorgeous.
yeah,
And a just a pro.
yeah.
Like the girl comes in and she is prepared.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
there's not any question marks. Girl knows
No,
exactly what she wants to do
what
and how
she
she's going
wants
to
to
do it. She's
do.
got her choreographer there. She's like, she knows her steps. She knows what she's going to sing.
Yes.
She's got her outfit ready. I mean, she's a professional, and I love working with people like that. I love seeing artists that I admire come to the table prepared. And that just says, man, I care about what I do. And
Right.
that's why I'm going to stick around for a lot of years to come because
Yeah.
I respect you, I respect me, I
Right.
respect who I'm coming to perform for,
Yeah.
and so
And
that says a lot
and
about
you
an
turn
artist.
out a better product too when everybody's on the
Oh, yeah.
same page and everybody
Mhm.
cares and they're invested. The result, the product is so much better in the long
Mhm.
run for everybody, which I think is absolutely,
Mhm.
part of the equation that's so essential. You too as well. I mean,
Yes, I got to sing on one of their records too, and that was a friend of mine who was a guy that used to sing with me all the time named Greg Clark. He is no longer with us. He passed away, which was a total shock to our New York community because it was just like all of a sudden he's here and then he's gone. But he was the one who called me to do that, to sing on the U2 record, and that was just a wonderful opportunity.
it's like it's so fantastic. And again, they are great opportunities. Like you say,
Mhm,
John Legend, Bruce Springsteen, Lenny
mhm.
Kravitz, Bette Midler. Tell us about
Yeah,
some of
I
those.
sang on her Christmas record. My friend Bet Sussman produced that record.
Hmm.
Yeah, and so that was, and Bet Bette Midler's MD, musical director for like 10 years or more. So
The
yeah, so I was
divine
asked
Miss
to.
M. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Mm,
So I got to sing on her record, and I got to hang with her a few times, and she was
yeah.
so cool.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed that. Um,
Bruce Springsteen.
yeah, I've sung with him quite a bit too. When you're in the Sting camp, like they're really good friends. Um, so whatever basically Sting was doing, he would have Bruce come in and sing, James Taylor, all his buddies. So you just never know. You never knew who was going to show up. You know,
Right. Which
it
is,
was
yeah. It's,
from
which is,
from one thing to the next. It was like, who's going to be here this time? Stevie Wonder, Mary J. Blige,
Michael McDonald,
Michael McDonald, and
The Roots.
the Roots. Now I got, when I lived in New York, I did a lot of those Jimmy Fallon shows,
Yeah. The
singing
Tonight Show.
backup for a lot of the different artists that would come on there. And so I got to know the Roots because of all of that. And Questlove and I became friends. That was kind of cool. He invited me to his birthday party a few years ago.
How cool is that, huh?
That was pretty cool, but I couldn't go because I don't know, remember what the deal was, but it was like, I wish I could have gone. He's the type of guy, he'll rent a movie theater out,
Yes.
throw parties in there.
Throw a nice party.
Yeah.
Bring it all together,
Mm-hmm.
which is cool. Rascal Flatts you mentioned as well.
Yeah, Rascal Flatts. I was out on their Riot tour in 2015. And I got featured on the tour. I got to sing the song Easy, that Natasha Bedingfield song with
right.
Gary. Yeah, so I got to do that every night with Gary, which was a blast.
Would you say that most of these opportunities are opportunities that have come your way? People have approached you because they've heard your work, they've seen you, they've, heard you do your thing elsewhere, or are there some where you said, I really would like to perform with that person, I'd really like to perform with that group? Has it been a mix, or is most of it where it's been coming your way? And are there artists out there you're like saying, it would be kind of cool to work with that person and collaborate with those folks?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of all that. I think it's whatever you put out there. Of course, like I said earlier, the music industry is word of mouth, and it's like, what's the latest thing that you've done? So there's a little bit of that too in the mix. I think it's, I know for me, like I've made lists before of goals, and whenever I do that, that really seems to work very well, and that's kind of what I did before the Flats tour. I was like, I want to go out on a major tour and I want to be featured on the tour. And that's exactly what happened, a few months later. And I just think that whatever you put out there, whatever words are coming out of your mouth, they need to be uplifting. They need to be positive. They need to be things that you see yourself doing in the future. And then, yeah, do a great job at whoever you're singing with, whatever musical opportunity comes your way, prepare, be ready, don't half do it,
right.
Get out there and do the best job that you can. And that speaks volumes to people who are also professionals in the music industry. They see you out there singing on point and knowing what you're doing.
Exactly. Right. Yeah.
And that makes them want to hire you to do an important gig that's coming up, that they know that, hey, she's going to come prepared. She's going to know what she's doing. I don't have to worry about her,
Exactly.
So and she's going to come in, she's going to look good. She's going to smell good. She's going to be a nice person. She's not going to be hard to get along with.
That's the way I operate too, is, and when you do, it's because, and it's not you're putting on any airs. That's just who Tabitha is. And that's basically the way I do it too. And when you operate authentically like that, people want to be around you. They want to collaborate. They want to work. They love your energy. They love what you're bringing to the table. You're not here to flip everything upside down. You're here to find ways to make it work and give your best. You
That's
know what I
it.
mean? And that's really, I think, what adds to the longevity in the careers as well. You know what I mean? You've had a long career and you continue to. And it's because people also not only recognize your extraordinary talent, but your willingness to go the extra mile, to adapt, to flex, to pivot if needed, and to show up and get it done, and have fun doing it. That makes a big difference, right? And I'm sure you um, share some of that wisdom with the folks that you're teaching who want to go into these industries. They want to become performers. They want to be vocalists. You teach them not only the vocal training, but also the presentation, how to really operate within the realm of the industry. All important, right?
They're so important. It's not just one thing. There's so many levels to being a performer, to being an artist, and they're all important. So so I try to instill all those different things in my clients and try to be a good mentor. And I'm sure other people say this too about their clients, but I definitely think of my clients as my children, kind of,
Absolutely
because
right.
I
Yeah.
want them to thrive, and I want them to excel at whatever, musical thing that they want to do. So I try to be honest and supportive and all those things. And try to help any way I can, you know, help them, if they need some help trying to find a gig or whatever,
All of it. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
You,
like,
you sort
okay,
of,
who do I know? I'm
because you
gonna.
work with them too, right? It's
Mhm.
not just the training as far as how to sing, that's
Mhm.
everything, but you're sort of guiding them
Yeah.
career-wise as well, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Which
Absolutely.
which is great to have a mentor, great to have somebody who's walked the walk, talk the talk, who's been there, who's done it, who does it. There's nothing truly better. When did you decide to include that part of the repertoire into your realm, teaching others vocal performance and training?
It just kind of, I was living in New York, and I just had some different people approach me about teaching voice. And so that's kind of how it happened. And then I just started doing it a whole lot more, and really enjoying it, and learning a lot. I mean, I'm still learning every day. There's so much to learn about singing. You never stop learning. And there's so many ways, different ways to make a sound.
Yeah,
There are
right.
so many
There
ways.
are. It's amazing,
Yeah.
right?
So I would say I've been doing it now for, oh goodness, let's see, I've been in Nashville about 8 years now, and I would say I've been doing it about 10 years. I've been vocal coaching now for 10. But I feel like I've really gotten much better at it over the last few years,
What would
just
be,
learning a lot.
for anybody that's watching right now, what would be like an essential tip maybe that you could share with
Mhm.
somebody who wants to, use their voice and their talents and go forward? What would be a tip? Breathe.
Yeah, well, that is a major thing. A lot of people come in to see me, and tension. There's a
Yeah,
lot of tension here. I
yeah,
have it too sometimes, and life sometimes can be difficult, and we all
exactly.
store tension in different parts of our body. And but it seems as a singer, we all want to clinch,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
so I've been doing a lot of I've been doing a lot of work with straws. These
Tell us
things
about
really
that.
help. So um, this technique is great for, like, if you're if your cords are swollen, and you've either been singing a lot and you're a little hoarse, or you've been sick and you don't want to put a lot of strain on your cords. You basically blow through these straws, and you could take your hand and actually literally put your hand below the straws, make sure you're feeling the breath through there, and then you add a tone. Here, let me turn up this piano. And really, you shouldn't, the volume shouldn't be very loud. It should be pretty soft because you're literally putting all your breath through these straws. And
And
you could
is
do
that
one
helping?
straw,
Is
two
that breath
straws.
control? Is that helping with breath
Yeah, it
control?
works on breath control. It works on placement. This is how I warm up all of my clients at the beginning of a lesson. And I usually, and then, you know, there are different like scales you can do. You could do this one. You could do. I mean, there are literally so many different ones that you can use with a straw. You can do any of it. And then also my other favorite are the lip bubbles. Yeah, those are good. Those are like I say, if there's one exercise I could take on a desert island,
Yeah.
it would be one of them.
You know, the first time I heard that, I thought it was so cool. I was in the city in Manhattan, and I was sent on an audition for a TV commercial. I think I was going to be acting in the commercial, or maybe it was a voiceover or spokesperson or something. And it was at one of the rehearsal studios where they had the casting and the rehearsal. And you heard in the different floors just that with the lips and the whole sort of, you heard the whole thing. And you're like, and then you had the dancers over here. So you heard that. And then you heard that with the piano. Da, 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 da. It was really cool to hear it and just know that, you know, there's training and learning and just growing that's happening, you know?
Oh yeah, always, always. And I would say for anybody that wants to have a career in music as a singer, get some voice lessons. I mean, if you've never had training, you know, just, it's not about like changing your sound per se. It's just about having some ways to warm up in a healthy way, you know, so that you can warm up before you go and do a gig, you know, make sure your voice is warm and that, you know. And so that's why I think vocal training is good. It's not about I want to make you an opera singer or a jazz singer or whatever. No, I just want to give you some tools that you can take out and you can apply to be a healthier singer.
Exactly. You know? Got a couple of really cool photos here we dug up. I love that one.
That's kind of a cute one.
That's
My
cool
friend
shot.
Sandrine Lee took that photo.
That's a cool shot, right?
Thank
and
you.
it's on the website as well. And I love the little, almost looks like the first phonograph I had.
Really?
The little one opened up. It you know, had the
Yeah.
carrying handle, and really cool stuff. This is a cool one too.
Yeah, that was Sandrine also took that one. Yeah, that was taken
That's a real retro look.
years ago when I lived in New York. Yeah.
A really cool retro look. This one we used in our promo. This is really great too.
Thank you. Sandrine Lee also took that one. She was kind of my photographer. She took pictures of me all the time when I lived there. She's married to Will Lee. You know Will Lee?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah. There's
Wow.
some of my best friends in the city. And
Very
you know,
cool.
they became like my family there. I would have Thanksgiving and Christmas and all kinds of stuff with them.
This
So,
is a cool one too.
oh yeah. That was taken by Trey. And yeah, he's amazing. That was taken a long time ago. I was just a kid there.
We are still kids, just
That's right.
we're big kids in adult clothing. That's what I
That's
tell
it.
that's what I tell
Always.
everybody. This one's
Always.
great. Tell us about what's happening here. I know this
Yeah.
one.
I
Yes.
was singing the duet with Gary LaVox during our concert during the Riot tour. I was singing the song Easy, the Natasha Bedingfield song.
That's
Yeah.
so cool, huh?
Yeah, that was a blast.
Do you have a preference? You know, some do, some don't. Do you like being out on stage amongst everybody, or do you prefer being in the studio recording? Do you have a preference? Or you just like
You know,
both?
I love singing live. There's
Yeah.
nothing better than getting like that kind of immediate response from the audience. That's just the best. I love it. And then it's also cool to be in the studio and catch a vibe in there and you go, wow, that sounded really good. But I love singing background vocals too. I would say that's one of my most favorite thing to do in the recording studio is to create background vocals. I love that, to create a bed of vocals and to have, just make different arrangements up. And I love that.
It's cool stuff, huh? Yeah.
I really love it. That's so much fun.
Look at these shots we've got.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That was a 4th of July that we did with the Roots, and Sting was one of the special guests on the show. And those are my girls there. We did backgrounds together for the show with the Roots.
How cool is that?
Yeah. Yeah. Same. And that was Rainforest Benefit. Yeah. That was cool. That's me and Will Lee. We were doing a benefit there too. And I was singing a song that that one of my songs called Love Without Mercy. And it was just me and Will played the bass and I sang the song. Which was so cool, which was really fun. Yeah. That was a concert with, that was with Sam Moore and Bon Jovi, and the Roots were playing with us on that gig. And that was in the Hamptons somewhere. And that's,
Hamptons,
and I think this was maybe the first or second Rainforest that I'd ever done. Yeah. And that was and I think that shot was in it was in one of those People magazines or something.
Yes, right. Yes, I could see that.
That's cool. And that's Nard and Michael Walden. He was the musical director. He's on the right there next to Trudy Styler. He's always been the musical director and the drummer, and he's just, I love working with him. I hope I get to work with him again sometime soon.
Right?
Yeah. He's such a great spirit and musician, and just he's a great guy.
Well, now you know that, of course, and nothing slows down for you anyway. But if it ever does, and there's ever a dry spell, just go to the TV station and sing the new image campaign promo for them. Hey, Channel 5.
I'll get a gig. Maybe
Channel
I'll get
5.
a gig that
Do you want
way.
me to sing? We are live at 5 on Channel 5.
I'll just do that with all the TV stations.
Just go to each station. That's
go to
right.
each station and see if I can make some.
No need to
happen.
whine. You're watching Channel 9. You can tell
You're a natural at this. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's it. Here's another great one.
So that's Bette Sussman, the lady I was telling you about, who produced Bette Midler's album, and was her MD. So Bette was my keyboard player in my band, and of course one of my best friends. And so we were doing, she and I were just doing a song together that night at this place called the Stoop Series in New York City, this old church. And I did a gig. I think it was just me and Bette, and then my friend Maria came in and did backup with me that night. How cool is
that, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think Maria Christensen, she's gonna.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's coming on, right?
She's coming on the show too.
Yeah,
she's fantastic.
She was singing with us that night. So that was fun.
How cool is that?
Okay, so that's Carole King, and we were doing Denise Thompson and Curtis King and Carole King. We were preparing for Carol's Christmas tour. We did this whole TV Christmas tour with her, which was fun.
Isn't that
so
cool?
we were preparing for that in that photo.
That is so cool.
Yeah. And so Curtis King sings with Bruce Springsteen on tour. And
that's right.
And that was at the Tonight Show, the Jimmy Fallon show. That's the guy from the Gap Band. The
30 Rock.
Yeah. Yeah.
Beautiful place to be.
That was fun. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And that was Sheila E. And that my bandmates, we were backstage at Kennedy Center Honors. We were in rehearsals at that time, rehearsing for that. And she was honoring, I think, Herbie Hancock. Or I think it was Herbie. Yeah. So, and Snoop Dogg was on that one too. That was so much fun. Okay, so that is that is, and I'm just blanking on her freaking name.
Yeah, right.
uh, let it go, let it go, let it go,
Adina
let it
Menzel.
go.
Adina
Yes,
Menzel.
and we were
Yes.
actually singing "Let It Go" there. We were
Yes.
doing actually we were doing a iHeartRadio concert there, and yeah, we were singing "Let It Go" kind of in an acoustic way. It was really cool.
She's something, huh? I interviewed
Yeah.
her on PBS for a special. She did Barefoot at the Symphony, and it was a presentation of the late iconic Marvin Hamlish.
Oh yeah.
And she was terrific. She was a real hoot in the studio. It was live in New
She's
York.
fun. I mean, she's a really cool chick.
Was actually at the studios, the Tisch WNET studios at Lincoln Center for Channel 13 in New
Oh,
York.
okay.
With I think it was part of Great Performances we did it with. And when you were in New York, did Broadway at all come calling?
No, I mean, I knew a lot of those people on
Yeah,
Broadway, and I worked with a lot of them, but I never really got involved in any shows there.
right.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
was just, I did more of the mainstream kind of music. That was really more of what I was called to do,
right,
you know.
exactly. Look at this
Yeah.
shot here.
That was a
Capital.
4th of July, I think a 4th of July gig.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was that.
It's like the Capitol
Yeah.
4th or something.
Mhm,
Yeah. Yeah.
mhm.
Is that the PBS one?
I think so. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was a PBS one.
So it'd be a Capitol
Yeah.
4th, which is
Mhm.
that's a really big deal. Look at this
Yeah,
shot.
Bill Withers, my
Mm,
cool story. So Bill actually was at came to one of my rehearsals. That I was going to do the show at the bitter end with my
mm.
band. Will Lee was in my band. Ralph McDonald. Ralph McDonald wrote "Just the Two of Us"
Oh, yeah,
with
just
Bill.
2 of us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And
yeah.
so Ralph was in my band, and we were rehearsing over at Will Lee's house, and Bill Withers shows up at my rehearsal. How
Not
cool
too
is that?
shabby.
No. Yeah, but this was in LA because I sang I don't know if you are familiar with Yamaha Groove Nights.
Oh,
They
sure,
did
yes.
at the
Yeah,
NAMM show, but I
right.
was in the band. I sang in the band and was a part of the Yamaha Groove Nights, and this was a rehearsal for that, and Bill showed up for that because I think Ralph was playing. He was in the band, and Willie and all those guys. And so he was there. And so and I'd already gotten to know him because he was at my rehearsal and he came to my gig at the bitter end, which was really
Cool as
cool.
that, yeah. Such a
I just, it's
legendary place too, the bitter end in New York,
bitter end.
huh?
Yeah, that was so much fun. But
Mm,
that I just love that man. He just was all about the right things.
yeah, right? Yeah,
His
yeah,
heart he had such a pure musical heart. He was all
right.
about the music. It
Yeah,
wasn't about the money,
no.
and he did get screwed. I mean, this
Yeah,
guy got
yes,
screwed.
right.
But he was all about the music, and I was always such a huge fan of his voice. Oh my goodness. And his songs and his style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real
He
real
inspired me a lot.
class act on so many different,
Hmm.
levels, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this shot.
Yeah, me and Bruce. I love that shot.
We should have called this episode "From Bet to Bruce."
Yeah, from Bet to Bruce.
Wow.
Yeah, but yeah, so that was the rainforest benefit. That was the one right before COVID. And that's the one where the Eurythmics were there, and that was a wonderful, wonderful night. That was another rainforest benefit rehearsal. I think that was probably in maybe 2016.
Mm,
That photo,
mm.
yeah. Lisa Fisher, there on the far left.
Dear friend, she
Oh,
was on our show. I met her actually when everything is always a degree of separation.
mhm,
I've emceed for several years concerts at Carnegie Hall,
Mhm.
And for Tim Janis, the iconic, well, he's everything. He's a music producer. He's a composer. He's
Mhm.
just, an incredible musician. And he's done probably about 10, 12 PBS specials over the years. And I
Mhm.
initially met him through PBS, interviewing him on the specials on public
Mhm.
television. And we became friends. And then he's always put on the last couple of years, not because of the COVID situation, but this really fantastic event at Carnegie Hall
Mm.
called An American Christmas Carol. And it would raise money. You bring in all these incredible performers
Mm.
from music and television and stage. And proceeds, a portion of the proceeds would go to benefit the Golden Hat Foundation, which is
Mhm.
actress Kate Winslet's
Oh.
foundation for autism research.
Mhm.
And Lisa would be there, and Sir James Galway, and a lot of other fabulous people. And I met Lisa because I was the MC, and
Mhm.
also I wrote all of the intros for all the artists and introducing them on stage,
Mhm.
and sort of the glue to a degree. And we just hit it off. And I just loved, when I was doing my thing, looking at the scripts and stuff, being there in the seats during the rehearsals when she was just rehearsing before going on
Mhm.
for her part. What, not only a powerful voice, but what a beautiful person
I
inside
know.
and out. And she was a guest on this show not that long ago, and people can see the episode in the archives. But you guys were in was it the 20 degrees
Oh, yeah,
separation?
20 feet from stardom.
With you from Stardom, right?
Yeah.
She was in that
Mhm.
as well. You
Mhm.
were in that.
Mhm.
What was it like being in that?
It was so cool to be a part of such an iconic uh, film, but also to be among all of those singers, that I look up to, especially Lisa. I mean, I I don't think there's anyone better than her. I just am such a fan of her voice and her energy and her artistry. Her voice is otherworldly. It really is, and she controls it with so much. I mean, she's
Yeah,
an artist on every level. No matter no, if she's singing a backup part or
yeah,
if she's singing lead or whatever, she's just like,
yeah,
I just do this.
yeah. I just love even listening to her just talk. You know what I
I
mean?
mean,
Just her the speaking voice.
I know
She's a
she talks
sweet
like
person.
this,
Yeah, it's
but she opens that
very
mouth and sings, and it's just like,
all of a
woo!
sudden takes the roof off, right?
Yeah, but I mean, she knows how to control the dynamics and goodness.
And she's
She's
we're talking Lisa Fisher, of course, which anybody
yes.
tuning in, and just a sweet person
Mhm.
from top to bottom, start to finish,
Yes.
really just an amazing person
Mhm.
as well. And so you got a chance in that
No.
photo to do that, huh? That's
Oh,
fantastic.
yeah, yeah, and I've gotten to work with Lisa quite a bit over the years, and she's definitely one of my favorite singers
Yeah.
to work with. I love
Yeah.
her so much.
Yeah. She's
Um,
really great.
she really is just a beautiful soul,
Look at this shot here.
Oh, yeah, that was, Rascal Flatts, singing some backup, shaking my thing,
That can you think.
shaking my thing.
Now you're in the vocal studio now, right? Did you just
I
wrap
am.
up teaching?
Yeah,
You
yeah, my
did.
last client was from, like, 4 to 5, and I just hung out here the rest of the time, just kinda preparing,
Yeah.
getting my mind in the
Mode.
zone, and,
Right.
I was actually trying to learn a song I gotta do tomorrow for a session,
Do you? Yeah.
and, yeah, just trying to get ready. But I did wanna tell you, so I'm working on a jazz record right
You
now.
are.
Yeah, and, Marcus Finney, drummer, phenomenal drummer, and DeMarco Johnson, we're collaborating, we're writing, And then I also have some, Maria Christensen's joined in on some lyrical writing and melodies and song ideas. And
Wow.
this friend of mine, Mateo, is also working with us on some lyrics. And I talked to Madeline Stone. I think she might join us on a song
How did you
as
meet
well.
Madeline? How did that happen? She's amazing too, huh?
Oh, yeah, I've known Madeline for years. I met her actually in Nashville first, and she had me sing on a lot of her demos. In I would say in the '90s, and so yeah, so that's how I got to know Mad, was singing for her a lot
How
of her
about Renee
songs.
Martin, our friend Renee?
Renee and we've known each other for years too. When I lived in Nashville before I moved up to New York, I sang on some of her projects that she produced, and that was how we got to know each other. And then we reconnected when I moved back to Nashville, and we've just been great friends,
Yeah, she's
ever
great.
since. And she's like a sister, really family.
If
I
anybody
love
missed
her.
any of those episodes, Lisa Fisher was a guest on our show, Madeline Stone, Renee Martin. You can see all those in the archives on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. So this jazz album, so do you have a target date when you hope to get it out there to the masses?
Well, I of course would like to get it done by next year. I mean, that, like maybe like the fall of this next, no, probably not going to be the fall, probably more like maybe the spring of this next year. We've got about 4 songs now that we've written, co-written together, and we're going to try to get a couple of them recorded in May. And it has a little R&B flavor. It's jazz with R&B.
That's going to be nice.
And then I'm going to do probably a few standards, and I'd love to get somebody in to do maybe a couple of duets with me on the record too, and have some celebrity, maybe a couple of celebrities on there to sing some songs with
There's
me.
a few that
Yeah.
There's a few there.
Yeah. So that's that. And I want to go over to Europe. I want to tour over there with it. I want to,
Cool. That's great.
I just want to sing. I want to perform.
What have you not done in this illustrious career that's still out there that you want to do?
Well, I would say this is one of the things that I'm doing
Being on the
now.
Jim Masters show?
Yes.
Thank you so very much. I knew that this was that most of the guests say that this is the pinnacle. They have the Oscars, the Grammys, the Tonys, the Emmys, the Peabodys, the Tellys, all of it, the Tonys. But when they come on the Jim Masters show, and they are told by our viewing audience that you're a lovety, most of them say their feet start tingling. One of our guests started levitating. You've got to be really on cloud 9 right now. I love the way you said that. Of all the things, this. I love it. Well, that's what it is. You're a part of the lovely family now. So hey, it's it. There's no turning back now.
That's right.
You're a part of it.
I'm glad about that.
It's cool stuff for sure. How about traveling the world and other things that are on that to-do list for Tabitha?
Yeah, I want to go over to Europe and wherever. I mean, I like I said, I want to sing. I want to perform. I feel like I have a lot to say, a lot more to say now than I know, a lot more than I used to, and a lot more experiences.
Funny how it works that way, huh?
A lot more to draw from, access to a lot of things that I had no idea about 20 years ago, 15 years ago, 5 years ago.
5 years ago. Or even the last couple of years, right? During this time of unusual nature. What have you learned about yourself during the last 2-3 years?
Well, that I'm resilient, but I felt like I've been resilient most of my life, been through a lot, a lot of stuff. But, COVID almost took me down, I got it, and I was in the hospital with with the COVID pneumonia, and it took my body about a year to fully recover from it in my lungs. So I think I'm happy to be on the other side of that, and to have that, not to have affected my voice and my body like it has some people,
A lot of
that I
people,
know
the
of.
voice, the body, the
Yes.
hearing, I mean,
Mhm.
unusual things that have
Yes.
developed later on.
Mhm.
Freddie Richardson's here. Welcome to the Jim Masters Show live series, Freddie. Hi, Tabitha. Love hearing more of your story. We love you, Freddie and
Thank you,
Dale.
Freddie and Dale.
Isn't that cool?
Thank you, guys.
Catherine here and Espinoza, and she says, "Hi,
Oh,
Tabitha.
what?
Has been great to hear all about." Everybody watches the Jim Masters Show, right? I like that you go, "What?" Next, it's going to be the Pope that's going to write in. Hi, Tabitha.
Hi.
Hi, Pope. It's been great to hear all about your career. We graduated from high school together back in Oklahoma. Kathy B.
Hey,
I
Kathy.
still have a copy of your first album when you were 15. How cool is that?
That was a long time ago.
Yeah. That is so funny. That is really
Oh, man. Oh, my goodness.
everybody's loving all the photos,
Oh,
Maureen and
good.
Kathleen, and cool stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
What are some of those continued blessings and joys in your
Mhm.
life that propel you forward to still do what you do and love so much, Tabitha?
The joys. I think community. Community is one of the joys in my life. My friends, my church, God, for sure. He's a major component in my life, to true peace and joy.
Mm,
And so, God, church, family, friends, all those I love who are there for me through the good times, through the bad times, who consistently show up for me. That to me is really true joy and peace. Um, and just to be fulfilled as a human being, and to love myself,
and that's not
that's,
always easy, right? We
yeah,
say that's easy to
no,
do, but it's not. It's probably one of the hardest things for all of us,
it's
isn't it?
so hard. It's
Yeah.
really hard at times,
Are you
like
hard on
very hard.
yourself? Are you do you demand a
Oh
lot from
my
yourself?
goodness, yes. So hard on myself. The
A lot of
worst.
creative people, I am too on myself, that they tend to
Mhm.
be, right? So how
Mhm.
do
It's
you
true.
work through that? How do you what are some of the things that Tabitha likes to do to counter or
Mhm.
to, you know, you're in such a creative industry and
Mhm.
it demands a lot, requires a lot, and you always have to be out there and creative and connected and doing and producing. What are some of the things you like to do to sort of counter that, to decompress and
Mhm.
relax and reboot and unplug and then plug back in?
I mean, I love going out. I love getting outside. I love going for a hike or for a walk, just to clear my mind. That's what I do. Honestly, whenever I'm feeling any kind of stress, or uh, just anything, any kind of anxiety, I go outside, get outside. And if I can't do that, then I'll watch a movie or something, just to get my mind off of it, or I'll pray. I do that a lot. I'll pray, and I'll um, ask for peace, ask for guidance, or I'll quote some scripture kind of over and over, and that will help me, uh, with the anxiety and fear, that wants to take over.
Right, exactly.
Mhm.
That's
I'll
beautiful.
I'll I'll do that. There's
Yeah.
a lot of ways to, I don't want this to sound like I'm a Miss Goody Two Shoes, but I also think it's good to help other people.
Oh yeah.
When you feel bad or whatever, you just reach out to somebody else and want to help them. That helps also get your mind off yourself.
Exactly right. Yeah. And you're doing that too. You do that on
Mhm.
so many different things that you get
Mhm.
involved in through the
Yes.
music, the vocal coaching as well, but also just other things that you've done where you've lent your support, you've lent your talent, you've lent your voice to causes and things that you believe in, which was what it's all about. That's sort of the gravy of it all, right?
It really is. It's just to me, it's just so rewarding to help other artists and to be there for other artists. Whether it's a young artist, an older artist, or whatever.
Yeah.
Just to be there for somebody and show up and support them um, through whatever they're dealing with.
Right. Yeah.
So
That's beautiful.
that's
You
good.
mentioned older artists. Somebody that
Mhm.
pops in towards the latter part of the show. Just wanted to say hello. Mr. George Burns is with us.
Oh, George. Hello, George.
There he is. He always puts a smile on everybody's face. He
He
pops up out of nowhere.
does.
My
I
aunt,
love his suit. I love his little tux.
yeah, he's got the shoes and everything. He's got the cigar. He's got the red hanky.
Awesome.
My aunt collected
That's so
dolls for
cute.
my mother's sisters, and this is like
Oh, I
a
love it.
real, very expensive collectible. I'm not even really supposed to be holding them, but he pops
Shouldn't he
on
be in a
every.
box?
He's supposed to be in a box in plastic and like locked up. But he popped on a nostalgic episode of our show one day. Everybody
Mhm.
fell in love with him. So he pops in. He's sort of like my associate producer. He hangs down below with a cigar, his martini, checks things out. And he came in to say hello and sends love to
Hello,
you from
Georgie. I love you.
George and Gracie.
George and Gracie.
Talk
Oh,
about longevity,
so
right? And
cute.
doing his thing.
I love it.
He certainly
George.
did, right? This was awesome. You got to laugh too, right? I'm a big
I have to
believer in
laugh.
levity
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
just finding the crazy humor in life because I think
Yes.
it's Maureen in Arizona, one of our regular levities says, sounds like the same things that were important to my mom: family, faith, food, and fun.
Mhm. All
Yes.
those things. I love all those things.
Kathleen in New York City, thank you for being here, Tabitha. Fun show. Love
Oh, thank
listening. Good
you.
luck with all you do. And
Oh, can
yeah,
I plug one more thing? So I'm
sure.
gonna be with Christopher Cross in June.
Christopher Cross.
Yeah,
When
singing
you
with
get
Christopher
caught between
Cross.
the moon and
I'm gonna be up there in
Jupiter.
your neck of the woods.
When?
Uh, the first part of June. I mean, basically, I can share. Can I share it with you guys really
Yeah.
quick?
I mean, are you performing on stage? Are you?
Yeah, I'll be singing backup
I'd love
and
to
and
come.
also be featured with
Let me
him.
know. Yeah. We have
Yeah.
each other's contact. Let me know because I'd love to come see you and meet you and say hi.
Oh, that would be awesome. I was gonna
Yeah.
see like
It'll be in New York, in Manhattan,
yes.
or okay.
Let me see here.
And here's her
Sorry.
website, folks, so you can keep abreast of things she's up to, what she's doing, and learn about her fantastic career, but also the vocal coaching as well. The vocal coaching, do you also
Mhm.
do that online,
I
or
do.
they don't have to
Sure
be in
do.
Nashville, right? They could
I
be anywhere.
It could be anywhere. I do Zooms, I do
All that.
all FaceTimes, I do
That's great.
Google Meet. I do all
Oh,
that
that's
stuff.
it. Tabitha Fair
I do
Music.
it all.
She does it
I
all.
do it all. You can come and see me in person or you can do that.
That sounded very Streisand,
Yeah.
didn't it? And it's her
I lived
birthday
in New
this
York
week.
City
This
for
week.
16 years. Come on now.
That's fantastic. Yeah, I think this is
Or
her
I can
bir
sound like a hick.
you could do that too.
Yeah.
I believe this is Streisand's birthday week too, so
I
yeah.
love Barbara Streisand so much.
Yes, yeah,
She's
how
one of my
apropos.
favorites.
Look at this, let's see. Drew Canty, says, "Loving this show. Tabitha,
Oh,
you are radiant as usual, and Mary and I are loving hearing more about your career." Thank you,
oh,
Drew. Appreciate
Thank you
that.
so
So awesome to have
much.
you here. All the new folks, we hope you'll continue to
Love
watch
it.
and join us and binge watch some of the 900 past episodes. You're gonna have a field day binge watching. I gotta say, people always ask me if my name is my name, for real, Jim Masters, especially
Yes.
working on television and radio. I've always had people say that can't be your real name. Your name is not really Jim Masters. It's probably what is it, Harvey Lupowitz or something? And I'm like, no. I'm the fifth James. It's the real deal. It's English, Irish, all that, and
Mhm.
it's the real deal. And Tabitha Fair is a fantastic name. When you
Thank
hear
you.
that name, you just feel, here come the butterflies and the doves and
Are you going to Tabitha Fair?
it's a great name. It's like,
Thank you.
it's like it's really cool, It's but it is, and that's the name, right?
Yeah, that's it. Well,
It's
I tell you
awesome.
what, my maiden name is Anatubby. It's Native American, Chickasaw Indian, Anoatubby.
That's
That was a
cool.
name to grow up with.
That could,
Tabitha Anatubby.
could have been Teletubby.
Well, I'm sure they called me that too.
Right? Exactly. The kids special, the series. Yeah.
That was my brother's nickname. They called him Tubbs. He was
Did they?
yeah, he's a football player. And
Yeah.
so yeah, all-American football player. And so that was his nickname in school, Tubbs.
That's cool. Maureen in Arizona says, thank you for being here, Tabitha.
Yeah.
My wish for you is that your star continues to rise. You are absolutely incredible.
Thank you.
That's great.
This is so
Yeah.
much fun. Thank
Yeah.
you.
This is the Jim Master Show. I wouldn't do it any other way. I like the interaction. I like, like I say, it's not interviews, it's
Yeah.
conversation, like
Yeah.
Johnny Carson and Dick Cavett and some of the legends.
Yeah.
Merlin watching in Ontario, Canada, one of our regulars. Thanks, Tabitha, for being
Oh,
here tonight. Keep up the good work. Loved hearing your story.
thank you
Yeah, and
so
she even
much.
sang a little for you too. See, she even sang a little for you too. Yeah. And she's got a piano in front of her. It's right there.
Yes.
I know you don't see it, but she really does.
Yeah, I really do. I have it right here, right
It,
here.
it is right there.
Oh,
Ave Maria. It sounded like you were going to do Ave Maria.
Ave Maria.
Very nice. What a tease. Have you done a Christmas album? Or I know you've been a part of
I
others,
have been
but
a part of a lot of different Christmas albums. Yeah, that would be something cool to do too, a Christmas record.
Christmas is
That's next. That'll
fantastic.
be after the jazz record.
Yes, you heard it here first, and we have a graphic for that. It's a JMS exclusive. That is cool.
Chestnuts roasting on an
Roasting
open
on an
fire.
open fire. Jack Frost. Yeah, that's cool. Keep me connected on the June Christopher Cross and you in New York,
Yes.
because I'm right here in the tri-state area. That would be very cool to and do you have
Yeah.
do they
It
go to
looks
your
like,
website to learn more?
you know what?
Or
I need to put that up there.
yeah.
But it looks like we're going to be in Huntington, New York on
That's
June 14th.
Long Island. Yes, that's
Yeah.
Huntington, Long Island on the North Shore.
And let's
Very
see, we're going
cool.
to be in Connecticut, Richfield, Connecticut.
At the Ridgefield Playhouse.
Yeah, June 23rd.
Oh, that's cool. Wow, that's a fantastic place.
And we're going to be in New Jersey, Atlantic City, Montclair, Easton, Pennsylvania. Yeah.
You're doing the
Yes,
tri-state area.
we kind of are.
That is
Yeah.
cool. You're gonna have
Yeah.
some clam chowder, some pizza,
Yeah.
a cheesesteak in Philly,
Gonna have it
some
all.
taffy in
Gonna
Atlantic
do it
City.
all.
You're gonna do it all. It'll be good to have you back too, right? Do you miss the East
Yeah.
Coast at all?
What's
Do you
that?
miss the East Coast at all?
I do. I do miss it. I miss my friends and yeah, I miss the city.
Yeah.
I do.
Well, it's just
I don't miss the cold weather.
during the,
I didn't miss that,
well, have
but
they told you this year there was really only one minor storm. That was it, the whole winter. We
really,
literally have had no snow, at
I
least
can't
along
believe.
the coastal, where we are, up in, New Hampshire, Vermont, up through there,
Right.
definitely upstate New York, but generally the tri-state area, not this year. People were
Mhm.
actually, everybody's like, oh, the snow. But this year, because we didn't have it, people were like, we want it.
Yeah.
See, when you don't have it, when you have it and then it goes away, then suddenly you want whatever it is back in your life.
It's
Is that?
true. It's somewhat snow.
That's it. I tell you,
I don't miss the snow, so I'm just gonna say
you're
that.
good with it. Yeah, you're
I'm
good.
good. I like the beach. I like the ocean. I like the sand. Give me that. That's what I
So,
like.
so you're in Nashville. Do you have a version of it there, or do you go to the lake, or
Sadly, no, no,
no?
not
No,
really. We have to go to Florida to get that.
that's what it is, Florida.
Mhm. Mhm.
This
Yeah.
was fantastic. Such a great
Thank you.
conversation. You're an amazing talent. You really are a treasure. You've been doing this for so long and you've touched so many lives through your music, forefront, background, all of the above, producing, creating, performing, passing it forward, paying it forward, teaching others. Really fantastic, Tabitha, connecting
Thank
with
you.
you. And I hope that we do it again soon. We're going to keep the, as I always say, the porch light on for you here at the Jim Masters Show. You're welcome back anytime.
Thank you.
Spread the word about our series. It's quite special and unique what we're doing here. And if you know other folks you think would like to pop on, as you've
Yes.
seen, everybody comes on and then they tell each other. And
Mhm.
I hope you enjoy the time with me as much as I absolutely have with you.
Thank you. I've just loved every minute. So much fun.
My father, and this audience has heard this a lot. My father has always said, even back to when I was like 8 years old, would tell me, my sister, and really sage advice, like adult-like advice to like an
Mhm.
8-year-old kid. Jim, whenever anybody says something kind or nice to you, ask them to please put it in writing and address it management.
I love it.
Whoever management is, just put it in the
Just
envelope
put it
and
in
get it
there.
to those people up there in management.
So who do I need to make who do I need to make the envelope out to?
Right here.
Okay.
With this show here.
Okay, okay.
But yeah, let's keep me posted on the New York in June, and
Yeah,
we're gonna do
absolutely.
Connecticut, and yeah,
Yeah, I'd love you to come to the show. That'd
we
be
will come and
awesome.
support. That would be fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, and any of your other listeners who are in the
The
area,
viewers,
you know.
yes.
Yeah, viewers.
Again, there's the website, tabithafairmusic.com. She'll put it up on there, and other things that she's working on and doing. You can check
Yes.
it all out there. This was terrific. Thanks, my friend.
Thank
Really
you.
cool to have you here. And thanks for all the time. We thought we would chat for an hour. It's been an hour and 38 minutes.
We're just having so much fun.
It's just again, put on a pot of
Yeah.
coffee and we're good to go, right?
That's right. More chatting to come.
That's it, exactly. Tabitha Fair, it was very fair having you here on the show, and
Thank you,
we'll
Jim.
we'll chat again soon, all right?
Okay.
You be well, you take
I
care,
love it.
okay?
Okay, you too.
All right, you
Okay.
love it yet.
I love it. I love it. Yeah. Yes.
Take care, Tabitha.
Okay,
We'll
you
see you
too.
again. Bye-bye
Okay.
now.
Bye.
Tabitha Fair. Wow, fantastic, huh? You've heard her voice for years. Now you got an opportunity, if you weren't familiar with her, who she is and the amazing, iconic people she's worked with, what she's created on her own, all the incredible things going all the way back to age like 15. And yeah, she had a TV show and all kinds of cool stuff. Of course, with Avalon, very, very popular group, and has worked with some of the biggest names you can think of in music and on many different levels as well. And producing and creating and on stage and traveling and studio and everything else, and loves it. Grammy nominated performer and vocal coach. And some of the performance, the people that she's worked with, yes, but some of the things that she's been involved in, the Kennedy Center Honors and the PBS Capitol Fourth and all these other, the Grammys and so much more. It's so cool, isn't it? George Burns popped in to say hello. I know the viewers, you guys love when George pops by. He was here. He's always here. He's usually down below and he's sort of overseeing things as my associate producer. Gang, we loved having you here as always. And again, we really appreciate all the time that Tabitha gave us. We always say maybe about an hour, blah, blah, blah. And if it's rolling, we just let it roll. If the guest has the time, we don't put a clock on it. Could be half hour, could be an hour, whatever. Tabitha Fair, Grammy-nominated performer and vocal coach, stopping by the Jim Masters Show series, and it was fantastic. Want to let you know tomorrow, Richard Ryan, he is fantastic. Actor, producer, director, writer. He is the founder of Oz Films, new film out, Art of Deception. He's joining us tomorrow. And I just want to remind you that just the other day, the iconic Tommy James, rock and roll legend, Tommy James and the Shondells was here. If you missed that episode, check it out. It's iconic, and he was a blast. I also want to let you know that Stephen Susskind, renowned American theater critic, historian of musical theater, author, is going to be stopping by soon. Lauren Thoman, writer, author, pop culture enthusiast, wrote the book I'll Stop the World. She's going to be stopping by soon, and many, many others here on the Jim Masters Show. Yeah. Got a chance over the weekend to chat with and meet and have a nice time with Gary Puckett. Gary Puckett and the Union Gap, Young Girl and all those great songs. I posted some photos on our social media. You can find me on social media at Jim Masters TV on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Follow, like, do all that fun stuff. Of course, our YouTube channel, the one you're watching right now, we would love it if you give this episode a hearty thumbs up like. There's a little thumbs up icon shaped like that, maybe not as frilly and gold and sparkly as our graphics, but give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed this conversation, this episode with Tabitha Fair as my guest from Nashville. Give it a thumbs up and all the episodes you like, and don't forget to leave a comment. Even if you left a comment in the JMS Lovity Hall chat room, it really helps us big time have these episodes be blasted out to more people internationally when you leave a comment under the episode on the channel, on our YouTube channel. And don't forget, if you haven't yet, it really helps us when you subscribe. It doesn't cost anything when you subscribe. You just hit that subscribe button. You'll be a part of the Jim Masters Show lovely viewing family around the world. We have an international audience. Folks watch all across the United States, Canada, all throughout North America, South America. We have viewers in Europe, Asia, Africa, Australia, New Zealand. We welcome you all and love having you here. Let's take a look at a few more comments. And Ms. Pat in Texas says, another great show, Jim. Have a great night, everyone. God bless. Right back at you, Ms. Pat in Texas. We love having you here. Kathleen Walker in New York City. So good to have you here. Sherry Larson in Kansas as well. Good to have you here as well. We've got quite a family here. Sherry Larson also adds in, thank you, Jim, for another fantastic show. You do so much for your lovities and Lovity Hall. We appreciate it. And you, love you right back, Sherry in Kansas. And I might be coming out to Kansas on a TV shoot. There is some talk that I might be heading that way. And if I do, you can take me for some good barbecue there in Kansas. I know in a couple of weeks, I'm headed to Florida, but it's my sister's birthday and it's Mother's Day, and we're all getting together as a family. We're going to see the family that's in Florida, and I cannot wait. Great show. Thank you, Jim. I'm still dusting off from the television shoots, the multi-day television projects we had in Canada, which was fantastic. Gang, you're the best. Thanks for all these great comments. If you enjoyed it, let us know. Interact with us. Leave a comment on our YouTube channel. Maureen in Arizona says, what a lovely evening in Lovity Hall. Jim, you truly do bring only the best for JMS. Thank you so much for being your amazing self. Hello, amazing self. How are you? Thank you, Maureen. I appreciate that. Sometimes when I move too much, the lights sort of blast out. It's like, it's funny. You are, let's see, Miss Pat in Texas says, thank you. You're headed to work in an hour. All right. Well, it's almost, it's 9:45 here. Wow. I got to be up at like 6 in the morning tomorrow. Got another busy day tomorrow. One more time. Here's Tabitha's website. Check it out. She's coming to the New York, New Jersey, Connecticut tri-state area, Philadelphia, Atlantic City, New York City, Connecticut. Cool. Going to get a chance to go and meet her and support her. Support your artists. Support the things you believe in, the causes, the people, the things you believe in. If you believe in our show, when you do the super chat, super emoji, super sticker, super thanks and all that stuff in the chat room, or you do it on our YouTube channel, that really helps us. When you leave comments, subscribe, when you share the episode links on your social media pages, raving about our show and telling other folks, that helps us. It really does take a village. So we appreciate and love all your support. And I personally, as host and producer, thank you and you and you and you. And Jane in Sweden says, here's the time update from Sweden, 3:45 a.m. in Sweden, where she is 3:45 in the morning, and she's here with us. That is dedication. That's what you call a loyal lovity here on the Jim Masters Show. All right, gang. We don't say goodbye around here. We say see you later. Ciao, cheers, shalom, slancha, avida zain, hasta la vista. We say sayonara, moi loop, cheerio. Take care. Be well. We'll see you on the next episode. I'll be back tomorrow. Richard Ryan will be here. Great actor, director, producer, and in a new movie. And we're going to talk with him tomorrow as well, right here on the Jim Masters Show, entertainment, lifestyle, celebrity talk show series. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. We love having you here. Spread the word about our show. And if you know of guests that you'd love to see on the show, let them know. Get on the Jim Masters Show series. Let us know who you'd like to see, and maybe we can get them on the show. Our guests, if you're watching for the first time, they come in from Broadway and Hollywood, television, film, music, stage, sports, comedy, inspiration, culinary arts, all of life, all different celebrity friends, and so much more stop by. So, and if you want to binge watch the episodes, you can do that as well. We archive all of them. If you came in late, if you joined us late on this episode, you joined us in progress. This episode is now recorded and archived on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. You can see it again there. All right, that's a wrap. Fade to black. We will see you tomorrow, or again, if you're going to watch another episode coming up in the archives, stay right here. And another one comes up just for you. We love you all. Thanks for being with us, gang. You be well. Take care. And Jim Masters, thanking you for your time this time. Till next time, here on the Jim Masters Show. Be well, gang. Cheers.